tacking letters on, it starts to get scary. The 340 part of it, it's meant to be taken in conjunction with Math 340, but there is really almost no tie whatsoever between the two classes. So you have Sister Toy teaching you Math 340, and you're going to be doing a bunch of things in there, and you will use some of the stuff that we talk about as part of that course. And then you have this, which is a writing lab. Our goal here is to get you to a point where you write mathematics well. So that's our goal in this part of the class, but in doing that, you'll be using some of the stuff we do in terms of writing some of the things, some of the assignments that you do in Math 340, but it's a fairly loose connection between the two. So if you're not in 340, that's not a big issue for us. Again, our goal here is to learn how to write mathematics and learn how to write it well. And so that's where we will be spending our time. It is a lab. That's why you have the L there. Shouldn't have this recorded, but one of my math teachers, my pre-calculus teacher in high school, always liked to use the letter L as his variable, so that at some point during the discussion he could say, and so we need to get the L out of there. So, sorry about that. Just brought back memories from my childhood. Since it is a lab, it's going to be much like a physics or a chemistry lab in that we're going to be focused on hands-on, you doing stuff, not on me sitting up talking about how to write. And so we will stop occasionally for 10-15 minutes here or there to discuss different aspects of writing and editing, the writing process as a whole. But this is going to be very much a lab experience where you're going to be spending most of the 2 hours that we're here actually doing stuff, writing things, editing them, looking at each other's work, and helping each other, editing each other's writing, and so forth. This first lab, however, the first thing we need to be able to do is actually write mathematics on the computer. And so the first lab that you'll be doing this week is on writing mathematics, typing mathematics in Microsoft Word, which, whether you like it or not, is by far the most common word processor in the world. And so that's what we'll be doing with this first lab. Now, for some of you, this will be a piece of cake. You've already been writing mathematics in Word, done some things that way, and so it'll go really fast, and you'll be done quickly. The assignment, if you just flip the page over to the back, is to just copy that page. So recreate that page yourself in Microsoft Word. So that's our lab for this week. When you go out into the schools, you will inevitably find yourself, almost inevitably find yourself in a situation where you have some software that you've seen somewhere, maybe at a math conference or something. They say, oh, I would love to use that with my class, or do something with that with my class. And that's great, but you're going to have absolutely no support. The tech guys from the district won't know how, if they know the program, they won't know how to do math in it. And if it's a math program, they just won't even know the program. And also, your colleagues will likely be somewhat older than you, perhaps more jaded in their approach to education. Hopefully not, but experience would say otherwise. So they're going to look at you and say, hey, what I do is fine. I really don't want to use this new program. I don't have time to figure it out. So you're going to be left alone, where if you want to learn the new technology and you want to use it in your classes, you're going to have to learn it yourself. And so we will be simulating just a little bit of that experience in doing this lab, in terms of how do you go out and find out how to use a software program if there isn't anybody to sit there right next to you and say, this is the, click here now, click here now, click here now, which is about all that technology is. So, that's what we'll be doing with this first lab. The course as a whole, there are 13 labs. So we will be doing 13 labs over the course of the semester. Your grade will, just like it would be in a physics or a chemistry lab, where it just depends on did you do the lab and did you get it finished out or did you not. That's what this will be like. Each week we'll come in, we'll work on a new writing assignment or an editing assignment, and the question will just be, did you finish it? Did you get it done or did you not get it done? So at the end of the semester, if you've got all 13 labs completed, you get an A. If you miss a lab, you get a B+. If you miss 2 labs, you get a B-. If you miss 3 labs, you get a C. If you miss 4 labs, you're taking this class over. So that's how it plays out. Since it's a major requirement, if you get less than a C-, it doesn't count towards graduation anyway, and you have to take it over again. But it's just, the individual labs are basically, did you do it, did you not do it? Because the quality control is built into the lab itself in terms of if you do everything the lab asks you to do, you've done it at the right level, at the needed level. So it's not a matter of did you do it well or not well, it's just did you do it or did you not do it. So that's what we'll be doing. Like I say, most of the 2 hours that we're together will be you actually going through the lab. Much of the time, if you apply yourself while we're here, you'll be able to finish the labs in class. There'll be some prep assignments that I'll give you, some reading for you to do before you come the next week, but that's all that you'll be doing outside of class. The way things are constructed here at the university, we have our 2 hours here. I'm allowed 1 hour outside of class on average. So there's a little reading that you'll do in between labs. However, if you don't really apply yourself during the time that we're here, the rest of it will be homework to get it done. The labs do tend to build on each other, not always, but much of it will build, so that if you don't get the lab done 1 week, that will mean that you can't do the lab the next week. Because 1 week will be to write something, and the next week will be to edit it. And if you haven't written it, it's a little hard to edit. And so keeping up will be key to being successful. I'm going to turn that off and turn it back on again. Or stop it.